If you look across our country, you'll find a large segment of the population that have some type of learning difficulty, and those individuals are not being served appropriately. And if you solve that problem early, while they're young, then we eliminate a lot of the troubles that we're having with them later on in their lives.
Schools do very well with most of the students, but not with all. And those that they don't do well with struggle in ways the teachers don't know how to solve.
You have a lot of kids who have dyslexia. Then you have issues like autism, which are now becoming even more prevalent in the American society. You have ADHD issues and children failing in school because they just can't control themselves and they're highly emotional. You have issues with the special populations, the special ed populations, and how you deal with them, because we've done them a complete disservice. We treat them differently in school and then we expect them to act appropriately out in the world. But if we can eliminate a large portion of it, catch it early, deal with it in the early childhood and in the elementary schools, resolve it, solve it, we'll change the trajectory of a lot of our kids. One of the things that Dr. Reuben Fierstein out of Israel has proven is the brain is plastic. He was speaking of that 50 years ago. We're coming to grips with that now. The latest research is saying exactly what he was saying for 50 years, that the brain can be rewired, it can be readjusted. There are 66,000 research studies that have been performed on the work that they're doing at the Fierstein Institute. And all of them point to the fact that they are successful, that it works.
In the center, we are focusing on 3 areas. One area is Fierstein's instrumental enrichment, which has been developed in Israel and is now used all over the world. But in the US is not very much used, unfortunately. It's challenging to implement it. And by developing a center in the United States that can disseminate it from within the United States, we think we can help this work affect more children. The cognitive intervention of Fierstein is taking the basic cognitive functions that are common to performance in all academic areas and enhancing them to the point that kids can really do much better in school. For example, they sit in a classroom and the teacher presents certain information, but they don't collect it all for all kinds of input type problems. While the teacher is presenting and the kids who do well think, infer, reason, some of the kids are not fast enough to do that. We enhance the functioning of these kids so that they can do much better. So the second thing is we believe that reading should be much more central in teaching in all academic areas, including mathematics. Reading is a way of forming mental images that can then be turned into concepts, and concepts are critical to understanding. The third issue that we want to facilitate and develop is intelligence integration. And it says that basically, if a person suffers from conditions like dyslexia, the solution to the problem is by working on the rewiring of the brain in a way where the diagnosis disappears.
The work that will come out of the center is a direct relationship with the Fierstein Institute to provide training. While they're not training, they will be running a clinic. In the clinic, people from our community here will be able to bring their children, will be able to bring other people. They will get it on a sliding scale, or there won't be any charge, because these are the individuals who never would be able to afford these kinds of treatments.
So the center will be the incubator where we are developing ideas, working with children, and learning from our successes, and then training teachers outside to use it, and following up to helping them implement the new approaches.
We need to raise $5 million to build the center. We have the property, so that's about $1 million invested already. This center will make a definite difference in this community. It'll not only be an economic engine, it'll create an economic engine because of the trainings that'll go on here and the kinds of things that'll happen. But it will make a huge difference in the way we look at human beings, and it'll also make a huge difference in looking at the fact that many of our problems are solvable. Our intent is to put ourselves out of business. We'll raise it nickels, dimes, and quarters, we don't care, but we're going to build this center.